raise your hand if you're here for my 5-star audit. You don't have to watch that video first, but it will give you a little bit of context for what we're talking about here. Essentially, I did a trend report, an audit, where I looked at all my favorite books and I kind of saw patterns in them of what things they had in common. And then I talked it through with you and gave you examples and kind of showed you how it works in the books I like so that then I can make better decisions on the books I decide to read, which has led me to this video where I'm going to go over some 5-star predictions, and I will be like pulling the things I said were patterns and the things I liked out in this video and being like, this book has all of these things, so that's why I think I could like it. I'm trying to get a little bit more analytical with the books I read because it's quality over quantity. I don't have time personally to be reading 3-star books. I don't have time to be reading 2 stars and 1 stars. And the only way for me to do that is to like not read as many, I guess. And I've been doing that a lot with DNFing, but another way that can help me do that is just like really thinking about why I want to read a book. So this helps me get a little bit more analytical about it. And let's start off strong with one that everyone has been telling me I'm going to love. Literally every single person I've ever met that knows my taste is like, you are going to love this book. And for some reason that intimidates me. However, the more I pull things that I love in stories, the more I see it in this, the more like someone's like, oh, you know what book has that? I'm like, okay, I need to bite the bullet. I need to read this. I own it. I own a special edition of it. So I'm happy that I think I'm going to love it because I do. I think it's a 5-star prediction through and through. House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J Maas. Crescent City #1. I do love A Court of Thorns and Roses. I'm not really a fan of Throne of Glass. That's kind of a hot take, but there's something with Throne of Glass that's just like never fully worked for me. I've never finished it. I keep meaning to, but I just like never gravitate towards reading it for those reasons. But I do love A Court of Thorns and Roses. It's one of the books that got me into reading romantasy. Like, it holds a special place in my heart. And so I know I like her writing style at least, and I think I could really enjoy this. One of the things I really do love is an urban setting, specifically an urban setting that's set in a secondary world, so it's not on Earth. And I know that this is it. This is a like made up city. We're gonna go out to the clubs. We're gonna see lots of the city. It's gonna feel like expansive. Like, I'm gonna feel like I could visit this city, which is something I really like in books. It's an expansive universe in terms of that too. Like, I think I just like my stories to feel all encompassing. I like to feel like I could step into it. And I think because this is connected in a lot of ways to the other series, that helps it feel expansive as well. If I know one thing about Sarah J Maas, it's that there will be some sort of found family aspect. There will be friendships that come into play, and that's something I do enjoy. I don't think I actually talked about that in my 5-star audit. I think I skipped over it, but that's another thing that I should have said. And then I believe it's Reluctant Allies to Lovers as well. I believe there's a murder mystery that they're trying to figure out, which has them working together even though they didn't want to work together, which is another thing, as I said, I love in stories. And so overall, I'm just like really hopeful for this. I would say that there's probably gonna be messy family drama in this as well, which is something I did talk about. Like, I love just seeing all the generations in a story, and I love seeing how messy it can get at times and how real and raw it can get. So I'm just very much excited for this one. I think this one could be a very good 5-star. I don't know much about it really. I think there's a murder mystery. Another one I'm really expecting to like is Beneath by Ariel Sullivan. This is a prequel series to a book I've already read from her. This author is writing 3 trilogies. There's the Conform trilogy, which I've already read the first book for. We're waiting for book 2 to come out, and then this is the first book in a prequel series, and then there's also going to be another series after as well. This is a dystopian romance, and so right off the bat, I know it's going to have wars, revolutions, rebellions in it. I know that's going to be a focus in this story. I know that I'm going to see this take down the system plotline that I love, and that always brings so much conversation to a story, always brings so many deeper themes and like little commentary and moments. I also, because it's dystopian, I'm expecting a very cruel world in this, which kind of like leads to the taking down the system. And then I think this is actually a military academy. Maybe not in a traditional sense, but sometimes I can be a little bit flexible with this and it feeling like a military academy, because she is recruited into a team of elite soldiers and they embark on a secret mission to the surface, and she's thrust into brutal training with stakes far beyond mere survival. So we're gonna have to watch her train. I think it's more like on a mission than like a school setting, but I'm assuming she's gonna be training with other people on the squad and things like that. And so it feels like flexible enough within the military academy. I also realized it says a secret mission, which is something I said. I love when there's like a hidden secret in there. It just adds another element to a story. So I think that that's another reason that I could really, really love this one. I feel like it's hitting a lot of buzzwords for me. And then from what I'm getting from the synopsis, she didn't want to be recruited. And so it might be a little bit of Reluctant Allies to Lovers. Not 100% certain on that one. But I'm very excited to see this, especially because I know what the world looks like later. I think this will also feel very expansive because of everything that's going on and stuff within like a universe happening. I probably should add that to my audit as well, that I think I really like these really big expansive worlds that like have connecting series. This one kind of feels like cheating, but in the vein of what I just said and how I know I like those connecting worlds. Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. I have binged through the entire Mortal Instruments series, the first 6 books, this year. Like, it recently happened that I fell in love with these, and I just know that this one is going to be the best one yet. I just have a feeling from the way people talk about this one that I'm going to love it. But let's talk about some statistics. War of Rebellion. The Shadowhunter whole universe is always that. They're always fighting the bad guys off. There's demons coming in. That is what these entire like universe is about. It's an urban setting. This one is not a secondary world. It takes place in our world. Mortal Instruments was in New York. I want to say this one's London actually. Yes, London's Downworld. I already talked in my audit how I thought the Mortal Instruments falls into something that I call girl fantasy, which is like this epic scope, but there's still focus on romance, but there's focus on all the characters. It kind of reads like a CW show. And of course, if I think the Mortal Instruments falls into that, this series is also gonna fall into that. So I know I'm gonna love that. It's like generational at times, things like that. Found family. I just know like I trust Cassandra Clare to give me a found family. But on top of found family, there's also sibling bonds in this. Just reading the synopsis right here. The first line says, when 16-year-old Tessa Gray crosses the ocean to find her brother, her destination is England, and then it like goes on. And so her whole motivation is behind her brother, and that is something I absolutely love. I just like relate so hard to it. So that feels like a reason it could be 5 stars. And then not in the way that I meant it when I said secret identity or like hidden secrets or something. The whole aspect of this universe is that there is this like Shadowhunter world. There's this world that humans don't know about. And it kind of in a little bit of a way feels like a secret that they're all holding. Like they're out in public and it's like, how are the humans not going to see this? Or what are they going to do? And things like that. And I do enjoy that aspect as well. So maybe that's another layer to like the secret identity thing I kind of talked about in the 5-star audit. But honestly, I'm just ready for this. I've heard that this has emotional turmoil in it. Besides the statistics that are going to tell me that I think that this could be 5 stars, just the vibes I've gotten from people, the way people scream about this series, the way people talk about how I'm going to die at the end because of how much I died in the Mortal Instruments. I just have a feeling I'm going to think that this is unputdownable and that I'm going to be absolutely obsessed and wrecked by it in the best way possible. A very new one that I actually don't know a lot about is Hollow Huntress. I feel like I'm going mostly on vibes for this one. There's not a lot of statistics to back it up. However, I don't have the book in my hands, so I'm only going off of what I've seen on Goodreads and stuff and in like marketing material. And it just feels like it could be a me book. It is an urban setting. I think this one is secondary world. And then our main character has a pre-established background, which is something I talked about loving. I like that it feels like she's already a fleshed out character before we even start the book. She kind of has a reputation. She is stuck in prison because she is like the best assassin. And to get out of prison, she ends up making a deal with all of these like ruling houses because there's like another house coming up and they don't want that house to come up. So she is set to kill someone. I also have a feeling we're gonna get a little bit of that secret identity thing happening because I think she's going to have to get close to him in order to complete her mission. And obviously she's not gonna tell him, I'm an assassin and I'm sent here and you're my mark. So there is going to be that secret. There is going to be that tension just happening on the surface level of me being like, when will he find out? Because they always find out. And like, how is it all going to come together? You know, like I think that will be a layer of it. And I also, for some reason, have a vibe in this that it's going to be reluctant allies to lovers because I just think that in order to get close, they're going to end up working together in some way. And that's just in my head. I could be 100% wrong about that one, but that's something that has just like gravitated me towards this book a couple of times that I've been like, I could see that happening. I feel like I hear no one talk about this book and I am actually very, very excited about this book. In full disclaimer, I am on an ARC team for it and that's how I heard about it. I had known who the author was before and when she put out an ARC team like join, I said, well, that sounds really good. And I put my name in. Either way, like I put my name into it because I thought it was going to be incredible. Like I thought it was going to be a 5-star prediction, but I did want to make it perfectly clear that I am technically, I think it's called a street team. I am on a street team for it. It's the only one I've ever joined though. Like I've never joined one before. We have Bloodbound, which is another new exciting release this year. I feel like I'm getting a lot of good releases happening right now and that has me super excited, especially when I feel like I'm going to love them. This one's got dragons, okay? And so I'm just assuming if I'm going back to the audit, there probably will be that talking in your head bond thing to happen at some point, because normally when there's dragons, that does happen. I think there's other animal companions and stuff in this as well. Also, full disclaimer, I technically am like 20-30 pages into this. I started it last month and then never finished it, and I haven't gone back to it yet, but I am very excited to. I've just been slumping so hard that life has gotten in the way. There's definitely rebellion in this. It's being set up even in those first 40 pages that I read and had me very excited. The idea of taking down the system just was already implemented in me, and I was seeing how cruel it was and things like that. And then I'm expecting very good found family because it is actually told by two girls. We have two POVs in this and they're both females, and I believe it's a cis romance that happens in this, so it's not a romance between our two main POVs, which then makes me assume we're gonna get an incredible friendship. But I also could be wrong, and maybe it is sapphic. And then again, I don't think it's a military academy, but I know there's like competition and trials in this, so I could see it leaning a little bit towards like having training and stuff. They're kind of like hard and like messy and all kind of like interlap in my brain. But I would say like this isn't a military academy. I don't even think it's a school setting, but we might see some sort of training sequences happening, which sometimes hit just as hard as the military academy. And then I believe there is a duel to the death between two romance partners, and I'm interested to see how that goes, and maybe reluctant allies to lovers to take down the corrupt system. Not 100% certain, but these are the things I definitely am excited about. I told you a lot of my favorite books have military academies in that 5-star audit, and I think you're seeing it come up here where I like talk about it a lot. And I do have a military academy that I'm very, very, very excited about. We have Stormbreaker by Nisha J. Tooley. This is a dystopian and it takes place in a military academy, and I am excited for it. So our main character is 19. This is a YA story as well, and she enters into the Amory Academy. There's trials happening within this academy setting. The whole purpose of it is to expose weakness. This also says in the synopsis that she must hide the truth that could get her executed. The storms don't fear her, they answer back. So again, she's got that secret identity going. It's dystopian, so we are taking down the system. Like, we 100% know that wars, revolutions, rebellions are going to be part of that storyline. I'm just very excited about it. I think she's also betrothed to someone as well, which she's like an heir, so like her parents, like she's grown up knowing that she was just going to marry this person. And so we could see reluctant allies to lovers in an arranged marriage come together as well. I'm excited to see what it means. I love that dystopian romance is kind of a thing right now. It just like has me really excited. So every time I see one, I want to read it. I want to pick it up. And I've had this one in my mind as like an anticipated release for so long. Even before we even got a synopsis, like there was just something about it that like screamed to me. And as I've learned more and more and more, I'm like, yes, this is going to be 5 stars. I am going to love it. I have a feeling that this is going to be incredible. The Anatomy of Magic by Alexis L. Menard is a author that's been a previous 5-star for me, which means nothing. I love things by previous 5-star authors. I hate things by previous 5-star authors, so it's not part of this audit at all, but I did love House of Bane and Blood, so I am excited to read this one. This is an urban setting, and House of Bane and Blood was one of the best urban secondary world settings I've ever seen. Like, the way that was written is exactly how I want it to feel. I want there to be places we're going to. I want to like explore the city like I'm a tourist essentially with these characters, and it was written so well, so I think we'll get that again. It's reluctant allies. She also has a secret, and then it's this underworld crime lord thing, and so I'm assuming it's going to be a bleak world. And those are all things I literally love. Our main character has magic. She's not supposed to have magic. If anyone finds out she has magic, she'll be executed. There's your secret. She lives her life by smuggling things, but she smuggles from the wrong man. And she is framed for a murder, and a crime lord offers to help her, offers to get her off of this murder by helping her figure out who actually did the murder. And it feels like that's the reluctant allies, like they're gonna be forced to work together. It's like a bit of a situation that neither of them really wanted, or specifically that she didn't want. I think this sounds really good. I think it has a lot of similarities to the synopsis of House of Bane and Blood, just like setup wise, but I think the entire worlds are gonna feel a lot different. So I'm very, very excited because House of Bane and Blood is like the most underrated romance I've ever read. Like, it's incredible. It's one of the best romance I've ever read and so underhyped. And so I'm like, will this be just as good? Will it be better? Like, wouldn't that be amazing? Next up, we have Tortured Souls by Melissa K. Rowick. Again, another author I've loved. I don't actually know a lot about this one. It is in the same universe as the other stories Melissa K. Rowick writes, and I loved the Reign of Shadows and Ending series. I actually didn't like Lady of Darkness. This is Reluctant Allies to Lovers. There's 3 POVs on the background, and she is forced into an arranged marriage, so it's gonna be that kind of Reluctant Allies to Lovers. But then the other POV is her bodyguard who doesn't want to bodyguard her, so it's also gonna be like that kind of Reluctant Allies to Lovers, I think. Maybe both, maybe just one, but both situations that I'm seeing have that feel to them, which is something I love. And if I know anything about Melissa K. Rowick, this will fall into girl fantasy. This will feel sprawling, this will feel epic, this will feel like I'm watching a CW show. We're gonna see little tidbits of drama, we're gonna see all these characters, we're gonna see so many little things, and this world is really gonna come to life. We're gonna have found family, we're gonna have messy family drama and politics and things like that, and I just think this is going to be absolutely incredible. The king doesn't know what's going on with his people, and he'll do anything to figure it out, like something is hurting them. So he ends up in an arranged marriage to the queen. She doesn't want to be there, she has her own motivations for being there, and she's heard the king is like cruel and ruthless and things like that. And then we also have the dragon, who is the person that's forced to be the queen's bodyguard. He thinks she's gonna have ulterior motives, he's gonna try to get close to her. It's just going to be goodness. It also could be a love triangle, I guess, but either way, all of these situations sound really good to me. It doesn't have to be poly, it could be a love triangle. Either would be great. I love all of those, and I just think this is going to be really, really good. Like, I just trust Melissa K. Rowick to devastate me. And then we also have Kissed by the Gods by Katie Rogan. This has sibling motivation. The first line is, "Then soldiers come for her brother and divine fury surges through her veins." I'm sad. That's all. I'm just sad. Like, that sounds incredible just from that, because I know how much I love a sibling motivation. I know how much that matters to me. I know how much I would do anything for a sibling, which is why it's something I absolutely love. But then instead of being murdered for what she does, she's sent off to train. She's sent off into an academy of sorts. Maybe not a school setting. She's conscripted into a war she never asked for, and she has to like learn how to fight. So not a military academy, but kind of the training setting that I love out of a military academy. And then I think, I could be wrong, I think there's different types of magic in this. She gets her magic from the gods, I think, and then other people are godsworn, I think. So I feel like there could be different types of magic based on the gods you worship or things like that. I could be wrong about that one, but that sounds really exciting to me. Lena becomes like a prize because of her magic, and she will do anything to fight for her freedom and her people. She'll trade herself for the strength to destroy the kingdom that broke them. How far is she willing to go and what is she willing to lose is also going to be a war, rebellion, and stuff in this, which again, I clearly love. I clearly love that. So I'm very excited. There's so many 5-star predictions. I'm sure there's going to be more on my list. I'm sure as more releases come out and I get like notifications, and I'm sure in the comments of my 5-star audit, there's probably already some recommendations for me and things like that. And I just like can't wait to dive into all of these, especially being in a reading slump right now. The more I talk about books that I'm excited for, and the more I can get analytical about it, the more like promising picking up a book does feel, because I'm like, there are proven reasons why I'm going to love this, so I'm probably going to love it. So I love doing videos like this. I love sharing my love of reading. I love sharing what I like in reading. I love learning what other people like in reading. I love getting recommendations or having people be like, yeah, this book has this. So that's why I'm here, to yap, really. If you made it all the way to the end of this video and you'd like to leave me an emoji just to say you were here, leave me a strawberry emoji, because I was wearing this like red and pink outfit in both our videos that I recorded today. I'll leave that 5-star audit up for you, and I hope you have an absolutely remarkable day.